Hello students, I am Pialina, your biology teacher, and I welcome you all to the biology e-learning classes. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, we have already gone through the process of translation, that is the process of protein synthesis. Now the genes which are being expressed, that is in the form of proteins, needs to be regulated. Okay, so today we will start with the new topic, regulation of gene expression. Okay, now regulation of gene expression actually means the controlling amount and the time of formation of the gene products according to the requirement of the cell, not more, not less. Obviously it has to be in amount. If it is too less, then it is a diseased condition, and if it is too high also, then also it is considered as a diseased condition. Okay, now in case of eukaryotes, gene regulation can take place at 4 levels, means at 4 parts. The first is the transcription level, where the regulation of the primary transcript and formation is being regulated. Second is the processing level, that is the post transcriptional modification, where splicing, polyadenylation, capping, all these things takes place. Okay, the third one is the transport of the mRNA from nucleus to the cytoplasm. Since translation takes place in the cytoplasm and transcription takes place in the nucleus, if the transport can be stopped, then the process of gene regulation can also be regulated. The last one is at the translational level. Okay, now for the regulation of gene expression, we will go through operon system. Now what is a operon system? This concept of operon system was given by actually Jacob and Monod in 1961. And what is an operon? It is an unit of the prokaryotic gene expression which actually includes coordinately regulated genes, that means the structural genes, and the control elements which are recognized by the regulatory gene products. Okay, now what are the basic components of an operon? It includes the structural gene, promoter, operator, regulator gene, and inducer. Now going to the details of it, what is a structural gene? The fragment of DNA which actually transcribes mRNA for the polypeptide synthesis is the structural gene. We have already gone with this structural gene, right? During the process of transcription, we have already gone with it. Next is the promoter. The sequence of the DNA where RNA polymerase binds and initiates transcription of the structural gene is called the promoter. Okay. Now next is the operator, where which is actually the sequence of DNA to the adjacent to the promoter, where the specific repressor protein binds actually to the operator. The regulator gene, as the name suggests, it can control the level of gene expression. This gene actually code for the repressor protein. That means which will suppress the gene regulation, the expression of gene. Repressor protein that binds to the operator and suppresses the activity, and as a result of which the transcription will actually be switched off. The fifth and the last one is the inducer, which is the substrate that prevents the repressor from binding to the operator, and as a result the transcription is always switched on. It is as per requirement of the cell, and the inducer is a chemical of diverse nature like metabolic, hormone, substrate, etc. Now we will come to the details of the lac operon or the lactose operon, how lactose is being regulated in our cell. The expression of gene of lactose is regulated how in our cell. The lac Z, the lac Y and lac A genes are transcribed from a lac transcription unit and which is controlled under a single promoter, and these encode three enzymes for the use of lactose, which is used as a carbon source. The lac I gene product, which is the lac repressor, is expressed from a separate transcription unit upstream from the operator. That means upstream means before the operator. Now, lac operon consists of three structural genes, the Z, Y and A, which I have already told you, the operator O, the promoter P and a separate regulatory gene I. If you go through this picture, you can see. Okay. Now, lactose is the inducer in the lac operon itself. If lactose is present, then it will be switched off, and if lactose is absent, it will be switched on. Okay, the three structural genes, the Z, Y and A, transcribe a polycistronic mRNA. Okay. Now, the Z gene actually codes for the enzyme beta galactosidase, which actually breaks the lactose into galactose and glucose, and finally the lactose is being used up. The gene Y codes for the permease, which increases the permeability of the cell to the lactose, and the gene A codes for the enzyme trans-acetylase, which actually catalyzes the trans-acetylation of lactose in the active form. Now, what will happen if lactose is absent? That means the inducer itself is absent. Okay. When lactose is absent, actually, the I gene regulates and produces the repressor mRNA, which translate repression, and the repressor protein binds to the operator region of the operon, and which as a result it prevents the RNA polymerase to bind to the operon, and the operon is switched off. Obviously, if there is no inducer, there will be no operon system. Now, if the lactose is present, what will happen? Lactose itself acts as an inducer which binds to the repressor and forms an inactive repressor. The repressor fails to bind to the operator region. The RNA polymerase binds to the operator and transcripts lac mRNA. That means the lac mRNA is formed, and this lac mRNA is polycistronic in nature. That means it produces all the three enzymes, the beta galactosidase, the permease and the trans-acetylase, and like this way the lac operon is switched on. Regulation of lac operon by a repressor is actually a negative regulation, but lac operon is under the control of positive regulation as well, but it is beyond this level. Okay. Now, so today up to this, we'll continue with the chapter in my next video.